Hello and welcome to the Numismatic Minute. My name is David, and today I thought we'd go ahead and look at one of my albums, my US Type Set. And the reason I wanted to go ahead and look at this is because it's going away soon. My 20 and 21st century Whitman Classic is going to be replaced by a Dansco 7070 that I have in the mail. It's been delayed, it's not arrived yet, but it will be here soon, and some of these coins will be going over into that set, but not all of them. So I thought we'd go ahead and look at it while I have this one. Again, this is the Whitman Classic US type coin collection for 20th and 21st centuries. If you've been thinking about putting this album up, or picking it up, this is what you are in for. And first and foremost, we have our cents. And starting off, I believe that first Indian cent is going to be in 1895. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a better look at that. There it is, 1895 in that first spot. And nothing terribly interesting other than in here, except for probably going to be my entry for the Lincoln Shield reverse 2010 to date. And it's because I have a 2019 West Point Mint cent. Came out of one of the West Point Mint cents that was sent with the mint sets at the end of 2019. That was a mouthful. But this particular coin, what makes it interesting is not just that it was a West Point Mint issue, but because it's got an error on it that I did not realize it had until I wound up taking it out of, or putting it in the album and looked at it afterwards. You might be able to see it on camera. I sure hope so. I am recording in 4K, but what looks like is a small string there is actually a piece of the copper jacket for the coin. It's got a piece of retained metal from the plan sheet before it was struck. So that is still attached to the coin. Didn't even know that. But I'd say out of the top section, out of the cents, those are probably going to be the most interesting, the Indian cents, because, hey, Indian cents are cool. And then the 2019 W with that retained piece of metal. In our 5-cent pieces, we've got everything from the V-nickel all the way up to date. And in this, nothing terribly interesting except probably going to be the Liberty Head V-nickel over here. And that's because it's going to be an 1883 no cents in the reverse. And what makes this interesting to me is because this is one of my first coins when my grandfather gave me what meager collection that he had. It came from a small plastic cup, about as big as the bottom of a coffee mug, and just some coins dumped in there. So not much, but this was one of them. And then over here, we have a 1950D Jefferson nickel. So I decided if I was going to have something in this particular spot, since none of the Jefferson nickels are very expensive and worth very much, I decided I'd go ahead and throw in the key date. And this particular one, while I didn't mean to get one that looked so nice, looks much, much nicer than I intended for it to. I just purchased on eBay, went and looked for a uncirculated Jefferson nickel, and I think I wound up getting a fairly high-grade Jefferson nickel at that. The steps in the back, if it weren't for a small ding, I would say would have to be a full steps designation, so it's a fairly good-looking coin. And then down in the dimes, we have a barber head, Mercury, and then a couple of rosies, the last one being clad. Only complaint about the Whitman Type Set is that for whatever reason, it can struggle to hold the coins in place, and it'll allow them to spin around and rotate if there's too much movement. You can see that over here on the Barber and in the Washington at the top right. And over here we have our quarters, and starting off with a Barber, quarter, and a standing Liberty. Some Washingtons from silver to bicentennial to clad, and then though it's supposed to be Washington statehood, DC territorial, and the National Parks quarter, I just decided I'd go ahead and throw in my home state, which would be Arkansas, and then because Hot Springs is in Arkansas, I decided to throw that over with the National Parks as well. Moving on down to our half dollars, which who doesn't love half dollars? We have Barber, or Walking Liberty, and then a Franklin, and then some Kennedys. And I personally really do like Kennedys, but I like all of the half dollars. None of the designs are bad. Barber is probably the least interesting out of all of them. But that's what we have for our half-dollar entries to the album. And without turning the whole thing over, we'll move over to our dollars. And we've got a Morgan, a Peace Dollar, and then a couple of Ike dollars. The Morgan and the Peace Dollar, for those that know, made out of 90% silver, and obviously worth a lot more than the clad coins out of the Eisenhowers. from 72 and the bicentennial. Nothing terribly interesting in the Morgan. It's only an 1881. And then in the piece dollar, it's a 1922. Interesting, the piece dollar, that was a gift to me from one of my associates at work. They said, hey, you're a coin collector. Why don't you go ahead and take this? And though I tried, no matter how much I tried to go ahead and give them something, give them $20, $25 for the coin, they wouldn't take it. They just said, you know what, just wanted you to have it. And also gave me a silver round as well. I think it was a silver town. I'll have to pull it out of the safe and look and see exactly what that was. But so Morgan piece and Eisenhower dollars. And then at the bottom, we have our small dollar coins with the Susan B. Anthony, Sacagawea, presidential, and the Native American dollars. And I just threw any old coin in here. I didn't pick any out in particular. Though I have a couple Susan B. Anthony's to choose from, and I might pull those out in another video. But if you're interested in knowing what all was in the Whitman Classic set for U.S. type coins in 20th and 21st century, this was it. This is my type set for right now until that Dansco 7070 ends, and then I'll wind up upgrading it and putting some of these coins, but not all of them, but some of them into that other album. If you like this video, go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and drop a comment down below if there's anything in particular that you would like to see. Thank you very, very much for watching and supporting a very new YouTuber. I do appreciate it. And thank you for supporting the Numismatic Minute. Again, my name is David, and I'll see you in the next video.